Charlie Sheen in the critically reviled 911. Few will be able to resist the allure of a film set entirely in a trapped lift stocked with Charlie Sheen, a sexy Russian, and Whoopi Goldberg speaking over an intercom, but here we are. Met with universal condemnation upon its release last week, 911, which is indeed set inside one of the Twin Towers on that horrifying day back in 2001, has been accused of being exploitative and offensive, despite attempts by the film's director to paint it in a positive light. 911 is based on a little scene play by Patrick Carson titled Elevator, and revolves around 5 individuals, including a divorcing couple, a gold digger and a janitor, who find themselves stranded in a broken lift in the North Tower of the World Trade Center shortly after the first airplane hits. With little hope on the horizon, the group share anecdotes about their lives and bond over their impending doom. According to Juju, it was always intended to be a sensitive tribute to the lives lost in the tragedy out of respect for the 911 community. This is an inspiring story about the heroes, Gigi told the New York Daily News. The key for us was to tell an honest story, and unlike the other 911 films that have been made, this one is about the humanity. Unfortunately, his film could only wish for the accolades poured upon similar 911-centric films such as United 93 or Oliver Stone's World Trade Center, both of which would presumably be accused by Juju of ignoring the humanity of the day itself. In the spirited words of the AV Club, 911 is the film equivalent of a guy loudly demanding the attention of everyone in a subway car, then refusing to even issue a compellingly strange rant, while other outlets have criticized it for being a schlocky disaster film dressed up as something artful. Sheen and Gina Gershon in 911. Juju's film also employs real footage of the day itself, pulling back repeatedly from inside the elevator to daytime news reporting live on the unfolding events. Awkwardly, it's been described by the Daily Beast as throwing into sharp relief how cheaply our national nightmare is being exploited for amateur hour theatrics. 911 has also been criticized for treating the eventual collapse of the towers as a ticking time bomb plot device straight out of a particularly ropey thriller, while having aspirations of awards magnet grandeur. According to Jezebel, it feels like Gigi and company thought they were making Oscar bait, but their results have the intellectual depth of Chum. But the film has received much of its derision for its casting of Sheen, who is recognized as one of Hollywood's most outspoken 911 truthers, the actor suggesting in past interviews that the attack may have been an inside job. In 2006, Sheen told Fairite radio shock jock Alex Jones that he believed the collapse of the Twin Towers was due to controlled demolition, and that he didn't believe 19 amateurs with box cutters could solely be behind the attacks. Pressed by The Hollywood Reporter last week, Sheen refused to outright walk back his claims. "I know I got a lot of heat for the opinions I had that weren't just my own," he said. "I was not just coming up with stuff about 911. I was parroting those a lot smarter and a lot more experienced than myself, who had very similar questions. If I offended anyone, I apologize, and if I inspired anyone, then so be it. I am more about moving forward," he continued. "Not to put this behind us, because, as it was brilliantly written, we must never forget, but there are still a couple of things just rooted in simple physics that beg some measure of inquiry. I was in contact with a lot of family members, and they were in concert with a lot of my questions." Despite the controversy, Sheen has also said that he hopes 911 could be the beginnings of a dramatic comeback for him, his early years in the likes of Platoon and Wall Street having been just a tad eclipsed by 2.5 Men and Tiger Blood. "The younger generation doesn't know a lot of my work before the comedy, so they can get a sense there is another gear there," Sheen told the industry paper. "I am looking for something pretty edgy, maybe even one of these cable dramas. Even network shows, like Designated Survivor or Shooter. There is so much good product out there that I have to believe there is going to be room for me in something in the future." Judging by 911, Sheen may be looking for quite a while.